You know what really grinds our gears? The little things you miss when you blink. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 amazing small details in Family Guy. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're taking the time to admire some of the little blink and you'll miss it Easter eggs and fun trivia that's often overlooked in this long-running animated comedy. Expect spoilers ahead. Number 10. Buffalo Chris. To get revenge on Chris, Meg embarrasses him in front of the school by showing a video of him parodying Buffalo Bill's Goodbye Horses dance from The Silence of the Lambs. While the scene is definitely humiliating, it has a deeper connection to Chris than anyone realizes. When auditioning for Chris, his voice actor Seth Green was dared by a friend to try out his best Buffalo Bill impression for the character. He could have gone with a stereotypical surfer dude voice for Chris, but Green was bold enough to try a hilarious impression of a serial killer, and it worked. So this parody doubles as a testament to the character's vocal inspiration.
And I said, can I try something really silly? And I did, and McFarlane liked it, so I got the job.
Number 9. All in the Family tribute.
Family Guy was recorded on tape before a live audience.
Family Guy has paid multiple tributes to TV producer Norman Lear's sitcoms, and the most enduring one is the very first thing you see when a Family Guy episode begins. The opening theme song with Peter and Lois playing the piano, recalling the good old days, is actually an homage to the opening for All in the Family, where we see Archie and Edith Bunker doing the same.
Those were the days.
Family Guy creator Seth MacFarlane admits to being an admirer of Lear's comedies, right down to how they handle controversial topics, so it's flattering to see him pay tribute to his inspiration before almost every show. Number 8. Redrum. At the start of the episode Love Thy Trophy, Stewie is innocently playing with blocks, but if you look closely, the blocks spell out a not-so-innocent message: Redrum. This is an obvious reference to Stephen King and Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, where the son, the young psychic character Danny Torrance, would mutter the phrase Redrum, which is actually murder spelled backwards.
Redrum! Redrum!
What makes this sight gag so perfect is that it's Stewie, a sociopathic conniving infant out for blood, who sets up the joke, and it is too fitting for his character. It doesn't help that Stewie starts plotting someone's murder during the scene, making the gag even more hysterical.
Michael Flatley must be turning over in his grave. Wait a minute, he's not dead. Yet. Michael Flatley.
Number 7. Middle finger to the fans? The Griffins are having a family yard sale, hoping to get rid of the excess junk they've collected over the years. If you look closely at Brian's table, you'll see a familiar-looking DVD cover, the cover for Stewie Griffin: The Untold Story.
It's not a movie at all, Brian. Just 3 episodes back to back.
At first it seems like subtle product placement, but the extended DVD version of this scene says otherwise. Lois berates the film for trying to pass itself off as a movie when it's really a trio of episodes edited together. Is this a shameless plug or a hilarious jab at themselves for their middle finger to the fans? If the latter, we're not sure if Fox would approve.
It's a middle finger to the fans is what it is. I tell you, Fox should be in bed.
Number 6. Luke Perry TV Guide. Peter's looking for a story to give to Meg for the school newspaper, when inspiration comes in the form of a TV guide. Luke Perry. If you're quick enough to catch it, or at least have a pause button, you might be able to catch the little message under Perry's picture that says, if you can read this, Family Guy is on the air.
If they die, I'll have nothing to watch on Wednesdays. Other than the fine programs on Fox.
When it comes to self-aware humor, it can either be more upfront, or in this case, it can be so subtle that you almost miss it. And it's not wrong considering how often Family Guy can be found on TV. Number 5. W.W.I.D. While in Mel Gibson's personal suite, Peter stumbles upon the trailer for a planned sequel for The Passion of the Christ.
Man, you crazy, Jesus! You crazy!
That's what my ex-wife said.
The trailer itself is a pretty goofy parody of high-energy action films, featuring Jesus teaming up with Chris Tucker, but it goes by so fast that viewers might miss one hidden visual gag. When we see Jesus driving his car, if you look closely at the license plate, it reads W.W.I.D, which translates to What Would I Do? While it's an obvious spin on the morality phrase, what would Jesus do? It's still worth a giggle considering whose car it's on, and with how immoral the whole situation is. Number 4. Funny headline or letdown? The Griffins are excited to see their picture in the newspaper, but if you don't look fast enough, you might miss the gag under the photo. Near the bottom of the page, there's a headline that reads, "DVDs paused for headline joke. Millions disappointed." On the one hand, it could be a cheeky jab at those who pause their DVDs to catch any blink and you'll miss it visual gags. On the other hand, it can also be a little nod to sister series American Dad, who thrived on newspaper headline jokes for the first few seasons. Either way, fans may not actually be disappointed by this clever little Easter egg. Number 3. Holden Caulfield. Peter's just goofing around, pretending to play the keyboard, when a random man berates him and pesters him for being a big fat phony throughout the rest of the episode.
You're a phony! Hey, this guy's a great big phony!
While the character doesn't have an official name, fans and some staff behind the show have dubbed him Holden Caulfield, named after the famous protagonist of the J.D. Salinger novel The Catcher in the Rye.
A phony lives here! A big fat phony!
In the book, Holden is a misguided, cynical teenager who usually called everyone he hates a phony. With how often in the show Holden keeps calling Peter out for being one, it'd be hard not to make the connection for an inside joke.
Hey everybody! This guy's a great big phony!
Number 2. Surprise Cantina patrons.
Move along, move along.
In the original Star Wars film, the Mos Eisley Cantina was a shady drinking spot for creatures of all sorts, not all of them friendly. In the Blue Harvest parody, the tavern is still packed with miscellaneous creatures, plus a few surprise customers. Among the patrons is the formerly evil monkey from Chris's Closet, Roger from American Dad, Bender from Futurama, and Coach John McGurk from Home Movies. We all know Family Guy loves to toy around with references, but what really sells these cameos is how they seem to blend in perfectly. None of them has the best reputation, and they're bizarre looking enough to call this bar a second home. Number 1. What the hell? Taking the number 1 spot is the show's most versatile and commonplace catchphrase.
Peter, what the hell's the matter with you?
Believe it or not, in almost every episode, there is at least one instance of a character saying, "What the hell?"
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
What the hell? What the hell?
It could be to express frustration, fear, rage, confusion, to make light of something, or even as a setup for another running gag.
Yeah, that hurt? That hurt?
What the hell?
Yeah, it feels so good, does it?
No matter the context or the character, it is bound to show up in some form.
What the hell? No, 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 no!
If it's not directly mentioned in an episode, it could still appear in an alternate rendition.
What the heck?
It's amazing what you can hide in plain sight through repetition. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.